Greetings. Welcome to ACES week number 3. Yay, we've gotten to 2 weeks. Wonderful. We're missing one student, RJ, and we're still waiting Chaya to come on screen. So as we get ready, I want to actually, Huhaika, I did read your debrief. And I'd like you just to share a little bit about, because everybody else didn't read it. So if everybody would just share a little bit about what you actually got out of last week. What were your favorite things? And don't forget to unmute yourself. You're still muted. Oh, I see you coming. There you go. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Oh, you have 2 things on. There you go.
All right, I just signed back in on my computer. Okay.
Yep. So go ahead and share a little bit about what you got out of last week. And Chaya and RJ, you're coming on camera and get ready to go. Go ahead, Huhaika.
Okay. So in the first video, I've learned that the brain is like a commander for the body, directing each part on how to function and move. I really thought, and it explains the function of the brain and the role of each part, and including the brain cortex, cerebellum, and enthalic trunk, and the left and right hemispheres, as well as the parietal, frontal, temporal, and octopus.
What about any of that you learned that made a difference for you?
Well, made a difference for me.
Yep.
Well, I always thought that the left and right brain was true, but in one video I saw that the theory about the left might be false, because in one video they show both brain hemispheres equally active and working together. Neither side had dominance, so I think that may be a difference for me, but
Okay. Wonderful. All right, Rute and Chaya, which one of you are going next? Hello, Chaya. Hi, Chaya Monet.
I'll go next. Sorry for the camera angle. I was gonna go downstairs, that's why I was on mute, but I couldn't because Ty's in there.
Okay.
But let me just go open up the email. But a lot of the videos that I watched, I've heard before, or it's like a re-look at it, was like a review of it, because I think it was in like 6th grade where we did a lot of that during health. But from this specifically, I learned that you could use both sides of your brain at the same time. Like, it's not one more dominant than, or some people have it more dominant, but you can use both and learn how to use both during things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying.
Excellent. What about you, RJ? What did you get out of this week's lesson? Didn't I see him? Oh, yeah.
It's not letting me turn on my camera. I'm just gonna tell you, so far what I've learned from these videos is the encephalic trunk is responsible for breathing. And I've also learned that I am left-brained, and I didn't expect that. because I thought I was right-brained.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. You know, that's I'm glad that you guys have you notice the expansion, because you're like, oh, wait a minute, it says this and I thought that, and now I have to look at this a different way. And all of you are still correct. Because yes, some people actually are or can be left or right brain dominant. And then some people really can use both sides of their brains. But what I really want you to get clear about is that the educational system that all of us are taught in, they usually teach left brain dominant. So if they're teaching left brain dominant, that means that your right brain is doing what? If everything being taught is over in your left brain, what's going on with the right brain? Go ahead, Chaya.
It's like being ignored, or it's like shut down.
It's being ignored, it's being shut down, exactly. And if you notice, I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of us have noticed how they took art out of schools in some of your public schools. They took band out of schools, music, all of those used to be part of the integral part of the curriculum, right? You had to go to an art class. That was a given. It wasn't a, elective or maybe or guess, right? So the idea is that you want to do things because your left brain is already being taught in school. You want to take on doing some of those other things to stimulate your right brain so that you can have access to both. Rute, RJ, the idea is, even though you're dominant left brain, your right brain is the most powerful aspect. Anybody know why the right brain is the most powerful aspect? Want to take a guess at why the right brain would be the most powerful aspect, Chaya?
Is it because it's like creative and it creates things?
Absolutely. Creativity is king, right? Creativity is king. So if you can create something, that's much more dominating than being able just to recite something. Can you hear the difference? The logical reasoning, I can tell you all about math problems and all of that. I can tell you about them. But can I take those same measurements and actually construct something? Can I use it for something? So part of our work in Master Force is to help leaders or help ourselves to develop ourselves as leaders so that we're using both the left and the right side of the brain. All right. So that's why so much was going on. And we're going to continue, because once you know how to, know how the brain works, now you want to know, how do I actually use it? How do I give the access and the power for it? So, but before we do that, we go on to next week's lesson. I want to share with you, you've been doing some work that we call wax on, wax off. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see this. Can you see this? Can you guys see that?
Yes.
I see it.
Okay, so you all are familiar with what's the name of that, Karate Kid, right? I don't know. Everybody see Karate Kid, at least the first one, right? Where he met his son sensei, and the sensei was like, okay, we want you to, clean this fence. We want you to wash the car, wax on, wax off, And there's certain things the young guy was like, well, why am I doing this? You just have me cleaning your house. You just have me doing unnecessary things. But when he actually started practicing with him, he realized because he had been doing those things, he was able to make the moves more naturally. So we call that the wax on, wax off approach here. So we have 10 points that you have been working on inside of a conversation called leadership. And that first point is in developing communications. And you have 3 different ways that you're developing that communication. How you're speaking in class. The reason why I'm insisting that you come on screen so that you can get used to seeing yourself and actually speaking to other people, because what most people, 90% of the population is afraid to do public speaking. And where do you develop public speaking? You develop it from when you're young. So that when you get used to people laughing when you crack a joke, or laughing at you, or making faces while you talk, or whatever they're going to do, you get used to it. So you don't shut yourself down. You just stay present to talking. So when you participate in class, that gives you access to developing your public speaking. Then there's also your buddy conversation. Those conversations are important. Why? Because you're setting up a way of talking to and getting to know strangers, right? All friends start off as strangers, but now you actually do have a topic of interest that can bring you together. But also when you're having your buddy conversations, it gives you a chance to imprint what you're learning. Those difficult words that you were trying to express, imagine talking to those with your buddy and being able to say those, so that by the time you get in class and you're saying them out loud, you actually have the sound of them. You don't shrink back from them. And that's how you practice. You practice in a safe environment. Okay. And then following up with your mentor. Your mentor is an important part of this process, because it allows you to actually developing your strength in dealing with people of authority positions, right? And asking, making requests, being present to them, knowing that they're there to assist, and actually reaching out, not just because you might need help, but just to check in and establish a relationship. Establishing relationships are an important part of communication. Okay, so that's one of your wax on. The second one is integrity, being impeccable with your word. Your no is a no and your yes is a yes. And that just shows up in who you are. You know, nobody has to worry about that. It just shows up, right? Instructions, you listen for clarity. You ask questions if necessary, and you complete as required. And I have been out of integrity this week because, well, the past 2 weeks, because I'm trying to find out why my email doesn't work. And I don't want to change it over, but my email doesn't work. My email doesn't work. And there's no reason why it doesn't work. And Aretha's kind of working with me to try to figure it out. So I received no emails at all from Rita at Master Force Leadership Academy. So if you want to send me an email, send it to mushimsuit@gmail.com. So please make a note for yourself. Yes, Rute. RJ?
So, like, what if could we send it through like text?
Yeah, you talking about any communication?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather like get the lessons and everything through text.
Well, you won't be able to access well, you can access online. If you go into your Gmail, you
I
should be
don't have a Gmail.
You don't have Gmail?
Mm-mm.
You don't have
I
Google?
just like tried to log in, and I had to like sign up for it.
Yeah, well, that's probably what you'll have to do though, because that's where the work is. The work is on Google.
Greetings.
Hello, Nenu Shares. How are you?
I'm wonderful, wonderful. Greetings to everyone. Wanted to say real quick, because you have a Gmail account, you do have access to it. So you would sign in using the Gmail account you already have.
But
So
that's
when,
what we're saying,
yeah.
he just had to sign up for it.
well, not sign up. So when they ask you to log in, like, who is this? So he's probably never accessed the different apps, but because he has a Gmail account, he already has one. Does that make sense? So not to create it, I didn't want him to think he had to create a different account. He can still use his Gmail account.
No, he doesn't have a Gmail account. His is a cloud. He has cloud.
Oh, I thought his
email-
email address was
No,
Gmail.
his
Okay.
email,
Ah.
his email is a cloud account. And that's what he was saying. He would rather receive it through.
Mhm.
And I get that, but he still has to access
The platform.
the platform, which is a Google platform. So that's the only thing, RJ, because Google also uses the slides that we use as well as the YouTube. All of that's Google. All of that's part of the Google platform.
Listening is very important. I missed that important part.
No, that's okay. Right. Okay. So everybody get that. So mushroom soup for me, you shares, because I still have not figured out
I put it in the chat.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And then the next one is responsibility, meaning that you respond as required. You adjust your attitude to accommodate your outcome and you follow through. Oh, I'm sorry, Chaya, you have a question?
For all of the previous debriefs that we've done, do we just send them to Mission Sue or?
Yes, please. Thank you. Because
Okay.
I'd like to have record of them. Yes. Thank you. Great
And
question.
copy me as well on them.
And copy you shares too. All right. So responsibility is important because the more you can be responsible, this is actually really it's actually probably the most challenging thing for leadership. Let me be clear that it really is challenging because the only reward you get for being responsible is you get more responsibility. Like literally, if somebody sees that you can get something done, they're actually going to find more for you to do, right? That's responsibility. And then when you actually get things done for yourself, then you try to look around to see who else can I help. That's responsibility. And then, of course, the more you do that, the more you become visible to people. Like everybody wants you to help them, right? But that's what leadership looks like. That you can respond to something. You see something that needs to be done. You don't look around and say, who's going to do this? You literally take it on. So responsibility is huge. And it's also the one thing that makes us lazy. And I'll talk more about that later. And then there's accountability. You can handle criticism. You work to be 100% present and you request feedback. Now, accountability is one of those that if we can actually handle people telling us how to get strong or how to, where something is showing up, like, oh, that's your insecurity showing up, you don't go and hide it. You actually go, where, what did happen? That you can handle that. And the more accountability that you can have for yourself, the stronger you can become. And you actually really do ask people for input. How can I get better? What can I do? So accountability, it actually is a strengthening part. And then no excuses, just results. You get it done, you manage your time, you know how to prioritize. We all can have excuses. I want you to know there's 1,000 excuses, right? There's always 1,000 excuses. And sometimes they're very valid. And I want you to know that the thing about leadership is leaders, instead of having excuses, they look for results. So they don't necessarily take the excuse unless they absolutely have to. And sometimes you do. Sometimes you have to you have to go, whatever, I'm not going to get that done. But then now you have to be in communication. Your integrity is put back in place because you say, listen, I told you I was going to do that, but I'm not going to be able to do that. So now, and that sets it straight, right? Because you may not always be able to do it, but you can put it right by just saying, look, I told you I was going to do that. I'm not going to be able to do that. But then you get very careful about what you say you're going to do, don't you? I'm not going to tell that person that anymore. Just a couple of more. Also, leadership wax on this week has been, how do you support others? Do you check on your buddy? Are you making sure that the other people in the course are getting it with you? Are you looking deeper at the support, looking deeper at the work, looking deeper at the content? How can you improve what is going on in the content? That's just a deeper look. Are you making sure that everybody is moving through this together? Right? It's kind of like we get to learn together instead of just having the facilitator and the mentor. Everybody is moving this through. Everybody is getting this work. Every time I talk about this work to people, they're like, why don't you have 50 people in your class? Every student needs to know how the brain works and how they being brainwashed and how they can fix it at a young age, right? And we already, I don't know, do you all know the answer to that? Why isn't this being taught in schools? Do either of you know the answer to
That's
that?
a longer conversation.
Let me hear from them though. They might, right? I know from you. I know you know. You said it. Why do you all think this isn't being taught in schools? Go ahead, RJ.
I blanked out a little bit. What were you saying?
What was the question?
Like, yeah, what was the question? Sorry.
Like, why isn't this like how the brain works, the information that we've been talking about for the past 2 weeks? Why don't they teach that in school so that students can actually use it to develop themselves?
I would not know the answer to that question because it should be. I definitely think it should be.
Yeah, it should be. Right. Right. Chaya, what would you say? Why isn't it?
Maybe because they'd want you to depend on them, or they would want to have like a certain path for you, like they'd want you to work a certain job or something like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What would you add to that? What would you Huhaika, would you add anything to that?
Well, I think they don't want us to know because they want to control us. Like what Chai said, they want to have a path for us. They want to have like everything planned out for those, like
Absolutely.
system.
Very good. All three of you, very good. That's it. They should be teaching this. Yes, they want you to do this. They want you to go down a certain way. They want you to be a certain way, right? There is a reason why we have the majority of Black men in prison. And like you said, that's a deeper subject. But that's why we teach this, because we, at some point, this will be out there more, right? The other thing is being on time. That means you stay on top of your schedule, you adjust to requirements, and you delegate and make requests, right? So if you see yourself running late, you actually try to get somebody to assist you. And always, time is not something that you can get back. So you do want to manage that to the best of your ability while we're in this dimension, because there are other conversations about time where it doesn't matter, right? But in this dimension, we're working on being on time. And then, of course, being reliable. You can be counted on, you don't disappear, and you discipline your laziness. Like, in other words, being lazy can be a good thing, right? You all know that it's a part of rest and nurture and taking care of yourself. But if you're always that means that you may not get things done that are required for your well-being as well as the well-being of your community. So when you're developing being reliable, you have to make sure that you're disciplining your laziness and allowing yourself time for yourself as well as time to get done. And that means that you have to use that schedule. Your schedule becomes very important. If a large bulk of your time is doing something just for pleasure, you're missing the opportunity to grow, because pleasure is not going to give you back that return, right? It's something else that gives you back that return. So you have to actually put pleasure in its proper place. Just like if you sat around and ate all day, what's going to happen? You're going to get some kind of illness, some kind of disease, something is going to happen. Why? Because you're out of discipline. You're actually allowing yourself to do something that's not healthy for you. That's a pleasure thing, right? So you have to put it in parts, all right? And then the last one is being trustworthy. That means you check yourself, you're honest with yourself and others, and you don't fear making mistakes. Okay, and these are just all about the wax on. So in everything that you've done so far in the past couple of weeks, these are the hidden lessons that you're getting practice in. So you're not just learning from the things that you're doing in your work, but you're also learning when you're working on and being in class and participating in the other things and calling on your buddy and talking to you. All of those is part of the learning process. Okay. Any question on any of that? No, good. See, I can see your head move when you say no. See there, I can see it. Okay, so now, did any of you do more breathing this week? Did you increase your breathing? Jaya?
Well, throughout the whole week, I've been playing volleyball, which has been really busy for me. So I've been using that during my sport that I play.
Oh, good. So that you've actually added, that's a good asset to add to that, isn't it? Excellent. Okay. What about you, RJ?
So the breathing exercises, well, not really like an exercise. I kind of went back into this one video that they're which had you breathe in real deep and then breathe out real deep. And it would just be it's something my dad showed me, but I revisited that video and I just kind of practiced with the video throughout the week.
Good. Yeah. And as we practice, we get better at it, right? Yeah. What were you gonna say, you shares?
Well, basically, like Shia, once you start incorporating into your everyday life, it becomes a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the basic premises of Kung Fu. You master your breath and you use it in everything that you do, even when washing dishes or running, especially running. By any type of exercise, it enhances that particular activity that you're doing because you're igniting it. The breath, increases. It's the magical element that you bring to the folk.
Yes. It's the magical. I love that we can throw that in because that's so true. It's the magical element. It really is the secret to so many things. And you don't get access to it until you keep going deeper into the practice. Because it's not about knowing. Go ahead, you shares.
No, it's saying it's a forever journey. It's like you, and at first it seems a little irritating. It can, just in the beginning. But one of the main reasons that they even taught in school is to teach you is the reverse way of how you're actually supposed to breathe. So everything is geared around you not knowing how to breathe properly. So, that's how society has been designed. So when you learn how to breathe, it could be a little, when you go into the correct way, conscious breathing, it could be a little, it could be a challenge, but it's more like mind over matter in order to exercise your patience with yourself. But it's more rewarding, and it's nothing that happens overnight. It's a forever journey.
Yes, absolutely. Huhaika, what were you going to say about it?
Well, every day, sometimes I just go back to the videos and just do like one breathing lesson daily. And then I just keep doing that over the week. Yeah.
Wonderful. Excellent. You guys are such excellent students. You're going to make such great teachers in this too. Wonderful. Well, we're going to keep on with our lessons coming up this week. Now, the lessons this week are going to be a little bit more intense because we now are getting down to the last couple of weeks. And the idea is that the information that you receive is to be used for you to make a difference in your upcoming school year. And it's to help you to design a different way than what you've done it before, right? So most of you are all A students, right? You get good grades, but what other things can you excel in? What other areas can you actually bring excellence to make a difference? So as we look at this week, we're going to be looking at, let me share the screen. We're going to be looking at mind programs, right? How is your mind program? And all of you probably, again, and I'm glad that you're saying, I heard you say, this is a review. One of the strongest components to your learning is to keep a beginner's mind. Like Musea said, it's a journey, it's a continuation, it gets deeper. So even if you've learned something one time, it really takes at least 7 times to hear it before we start the application process. Isn't that crazy? And it's simply because we've been taught, we haven't been taught how to learn to apply knowledge. We've been taught how to regurgitate knowledge. In other words, we've been taught how to repeat what we know. We've been taught how to pass tests on what we know. But when you really know something, your life should change because you know it. That's how you know you learned something new, because I took what I learned and I used it, and it made my life better. So now this week, we're going to look at how programs work. And I'm going to ask you, the videos in this program are pretty intense and they're pretty long. So you're going to want to start sooner than later, RJ, just in case you wait, because we're going to look at programs from television, music, movies, video games, mobile devices, social media. Okay. All of these are programs pointing to what you guys said. They're putting you in a direction that they want you to go with these programs. So we're going to look at the different ways that they use all of these programs to hit your mind. So you're going to have videos and documentaries to get through so that you can see the different ways. And each one of these are programs for you to see how they use them to influence the mind of the youth, right? And even if you understand this, and even if you get it, I want you to be able to know it so that you can share with other people, and not as a preachy way, but as a way of being. Because even if you understand this, what you have to develop is a way to counter it, because it's not going away. Woohoo, Hiker, were you going to say something?
No, that was an accident, my bad.
You sure your spirit wasn't trying to give us a message? Only if you're sure, okay? Don't be holding it back. Okay, so, and then we're talking more about mind control, such as marketing, movies, and music. This is going to be important for you to journal about these things, okay? Because as you begin to look at it, you're going to be really, and maybe not so surprised, because I think, I don't know, are they Gen X's? What are you guys? Yeah, Gen Y's? Which I don't even know what they call you.
They
We're
what,
Gen Z.
2011?
Huh? What'd you say, Rute?
Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Oh, Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
So they're
Mhm.
starting over. Oh, that's interesting. That's you see that? Because
Gen Z and then go to A, right?
alpha,
Alpha.
that's
Mm,
interesting. They don't do things by chance.
no. Yeah.
That's super interesting. I didn't even think about Gen X because I think we're Gen X. I don't know. I don't keep up with it, but
Yeah. I just in the language, absolutely.
but
All
you
right.
have to watch their show displaying, because that was a part of the just to give a little bit, and they'll probably get into here, but that was a part of it, the programming, but they had to still tell you the truth. And so a lot of it is in movies and different things.
Yes.
But we've been, oh, that's just a movie. It doesn't mean I'm Superman, so I digress.
No, but that's real. Actually, that's how we know, right? And then those that realized what was going on were called conspirators or conspirator theories and all that stuff, when actually most of us know because we were born with a higher sensitivity to our intuition.
Mhm. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Mhm.
it's they're totally different. By being an Aquarian age is very significant,
Mhm.
because that's the time where all the masks come off, everything's revealed. You see, it's like, we're on that cusp of chaos and bliss. So everything has, just like when you deal with your own shadow work or different things within your mind, it comes out, and then it leaves, right? If you don't feed it. That's the same thing that's going on in the world. Just so much stuff is coming out, just whole
Yeah.
bunch. And so it's a cleansing process. So you have to be mindful, especially us that are very sensitive to the energies. You have to be very mindful to not engage with the chaos that's going on in the world, just so it's because it's dissipating.
Yes. And we don't even have to look over there.
Yes. And these exercises allow you to be in that space to just watch the movie and eat some popcorn if you choose, but you got other stuff going on as far as exercise, cultivating your creativity.
Absolutely. All right. So any questions on this week's mind programs? Again, you're going to have quite a few lengthy documentaries. So start soon rather than later. And remember to check in with your buddy. The best day is on Wednesday. Support each other. And then you shares, did you ever were ever able to contact with Rute and Chaya? Did you get them into the text group? Do you need their number? What is it that would get them into the text group?
Well, Rute did respond,
Okay.
but he couldn't access anything because of his limit.
Because of the Gmail. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I was a thought just came to me. You might want to consider a Gmail based off your creativity or business idea, so it can kind of separate your person. And just that thought just came to me as far as when your thoughts in creating the Gmail account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because all of that is on the Google document.
But he did respond to text, but Chaya just kind of, when she said she was busy with soccer,
With volleyball.
volleyball,
Mhm.
that I'm sure is the reason why, she hasn't been engaging.
Mm. Yeah, and Chaya's phone is off most of the time. Chaya's hand was up first. Go ahead, Chaya.
I am in the group message. I've seen the messages. I didn't know what to respond with, but I have been aware of them. And for me personally, I think Thursday would be a little bit better, or Tuesday would be better to connect with our buddies, or for me because of my schedule. I have like no free time on Wednesday.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's fine.
Uh,
And
so
now
Thursday, I think,
always a good response is hi. You can say hi because it just is feedback. It just
Mhm.
lets the person know that it's kind of like saying, I'm here. You know how the teacher says, present, are you present? Right? So that's all it is.
Yeah. And
Go
then
ahead.
like a thumbs up, but
Yeah.
that's training for me because I'll make sure to request a response, like ensure that
Mm-hmm.
um something that you would use, like the video, and I gotta send this to you. It's a screenshot of how the brain actually works. So just some and it was just a what do you call it? A picture. So it's interesting as we go through the exercises throughout the day, you know how the mind works. Things come to me that's relative to the assignments of the week. So when I come up on those, I share them sometimes in the text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Thursday will be our check-in. If is everybody in agreement with that?
Well, the reason that Thursday is kind of late is because Friday is
Everything
because,
is due.
yeah, so Tuesday may be better because the idea about the buddy week is to kind of get the information in and to make sure that people are on task. Thursday, if they haven't started watching the video, it's already too late. You see that?
Ah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah, you want to
Tuesday,
catch them
yeah,
before they,
at the end of the week. Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so Tuesday, since Wednesday is not uh available to Chaya, so Tuesday is good.
And then yeah, probably a Thursday. Hey, how much did we got everything done?
Yeah,
And just a
in
quick
case
check.
people need help. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that works.
yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Anything else? So, but you were given 10 points of leadership. Go ahead, RJ.
Excuse me. So I put my Gmail in the chat,
Oh,
and then see, I'll be able to check that whenever I log in.
Cool.
Excuse the background.
but this will be where your assignments will go, RJ. Okay. All right. RJ at music. Okay, cool. And excellent. So you were given 10 leadership, wax on, wax off. I'd like for you to pick at least one that you're going to intentionally strengthen this week. Do you need me to run them off to you again, or do you remember one that you would like to take on? Anybody need me to go through them again? Okay. I saw RJ say something.
I think he was saying that he was leaving. I don't know.
Oh, he's
But-
gonna somewhere? Okay.
Can you run through them? Not like I remember all the, what is it called? Like what everything was under, but can you just go through the topics so I could pick?
Yeah, so communications, instructions, responsibility, accountability, no excuses, supporting others, being on time, reliability, trustworthy, and integrity. Which one would you like to take on this week? Are you thinking about it? Who, Heike, which one?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. That was it.
I thought you were asking rhetorically, but
No, I'd like you to each take on one and then come back and let us know how you did with it. So which one that you're gonna, all of these are present for you, but which one are you going to pay the most attention to this week?
supporting others.
Okay, Chaya, supporting others. Who, Heike, what about you?
Can you go through them again? I forgot.
Yep. Communications, following instructions, responsibility, accountability, having no excuses, supporting others, being on time, reliability, trustworthy, and integrity.
I'll go with communication.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take on for myself integrity because that is one of my keys. You, Mama, you share. She gonna take on one for yourself. Do you want me to go through them again? Are you talking with you're muted? I didn't hear none of that.
Oh, yes. I said yes, because I'm over here doing things I'm not supposed to multitask. If you would be so kind.
Which one you want to take on?
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you
Go
would
through it
be,
again.
yeah.
Okay,
I
communicate.
know I heard him.
Right.
Okay.
You listening to RJ, you got to pick one. Communications, instructions, responsibility, accountability, no excuses, supporting others, being on time, reliability, being trustworthy, and integrity. And I'm taking on integrity for myself. Chai is
I'm gonna do trustworthy.
trustworthy. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. And RJ, which one are you going to take on for yourself for this week? Okay.
Can you go through that again?
I sure can. Communications and following instructions, responsibility, accountability, no excuses, supporting others, being on time, reliability, being trustworthy, and integrity. Which one would you like to take on?
I'll take on responsibility.
Okay. Excellent. Oh, that's so cool. Everybody got, so Huhaika is taking on communications, RJ is taking on responsibility, Chaya is taking on supporting others, Moot Yushays is taking on trustworthy, and Moot Shamsut is taking on integrity. We're gonna have some wonderful feedback next week. Yay, what Chaya? Yes, ma'am.
That slideshow that you were showing us about wax on and wax off, could you email that as well?
Yes, I will email that to you. Email wax on, wax off. I certainly will. Okay. All right. Any other questions? You guys are so awesome. Chayo, can we get together and order our t-shirts this week? Maybe. Is that possible?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Everybody would love it.
Listen, do you have the link to 3? Because I just put an email together to send to RJ for 1 and 2. So if I can add 3 to it, it'll be great. And I'm seeing everyone else on this email.
Okay, I'll send it right after this, okay? I'll send it. Do you need it before then? Because I don't.
Yeah, I wanted to send an email before we left.
Okay, hold
Yeah, that would.
on. Hold on.
Yeah, the email come through. I have 1, 2, and 3 as well.
And then we just have 2 more sessions. You guys are rocking after 4. Oh, this is 3.
This
Right.
is 3.
Right. Okay, here it comes. Share. And then I'm gonna just share it to you and you can share it to everybody, right?
Yep. Were you putting it in the chat or?
No, I'm sending it to you because you're on
Okay.
this
Alrighty.
session. Okay, coming through now. All right, do you guys have any questions, anything that you need to say before we log off? Oh, you know what? You shares, hold on, I'm gonna send you the wax on, wax off too.
Okay.
Yeah, so then that way everybody will have that too. Let's see, there we go. Boom. I'm just gonna put a label. All right. Bam. All right, you should have it.
You want to change that? It says anyone with a link. You want to change it to restricted? Or do you restrict it or no?
Because you shouldn't send the link. You should put their names in. Their email address.
Right, but you have the link as general access.
Yeah,
is
it's not.
okay.
Yeah, but nobody should have the link. That's what I'm saying. We're not sending the link. You know what I'm saying? It's in mine. It says private. You have. It's restricted here. Only people with access, right? That's what mine says. But yours says different because you're an editor on there.
Right, but at the bottom where it says general access,
Mine says restricted.
yeah, mine says anyone with the link.
That's what I'm saying. You have that because I made you the editor. So
Gotcha.
it's not going to be true. That's what I'm saying. So when you send it to them, use their email address
Okay.
and don't use the link. That way, no, it will be restricted. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha. So because the link isn't out there.
The link is not out there.
Right. So as far as 2 and 3, okay, don't send the link in the email. But okay, but if it's restricted, if they have the link, they can access it that way.
Yeah, they can access it that way because they will have the link, but I don't put the link out there. I use like how I used your email.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And then instead of having it say editor, change it to viewer.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
excellent. RJ, you got a question? I'm listening now.
Was there anything I missed while my camera was off? Because I went off to help my dad with groceries.
No, you actually did come back and give us what we were going through. So we were listening for what would you take on for the wax on, wax off, or you're going to take on responsibility.
Okay.
So that was it. And then Chaya asked if we would send the points for wax on, wax off, and you'll be getting that from Moot You Shares. Okay, anything else? I think that's all I have. And Move You Shares, I'll actually send you the links to once I upload them to YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, for last week's class and this week's class. All right, you guys. Any last words, Mama You Shares?
No, just one of the main things is it's crazy The planets is bananas right now. I'm just gonna say
Full moon in Capricorn.
that. Oh, you all in it. You all in it. So, but the bananas is Mother Earth cleansing. So that's why you're seeing so much chaos in the news, so much chaos in people, because the planets is shaking. You know how you shake off the dirt.
Check it
So
out.
shaking it off. So it's so much more important to stay grounded and at your breath again, the magic, as you're saying, grounded. Even the planets is shaking off, and they're also in charging the ones that are in tune. So it's I have no idea, but everybody in ancient times wanted to be alive during this particular time, you know, talking 6,000, 10,000 years because of what the manifestation abilities that just are present. But that shakiness, so you'll see a lot of tension and discord, may see it, because if you raise your vibration high enough, you won't be even in that energy, and that's where the breath comes into play. And that's where this week, where you go back to, okay, how is my brain working? You know, why am I in integrating with this? And I don't. So understand what your boundaries are to protect your energy as you continue to go through this journey. So yeah, that's my probably 5 cents.
Well, thank you very much. Anybody else have a couple of cents they want to put on the table? No. Chaya, Huhaika? No. I can see your head shaking. See, that's why it's so important to be able to see you.
You get the head nods.
But,
We appreciate you.
yeah, yes. Thank you guys. So you go out and have a great week. Start looking at your videos as soon as you get them, because they can be kind of lengthy. And this is good stuff. Even if you don't agree with it, remember that you can still listen to it and you can toss it out later. It's good to just get information sometime, even if you disagree with it, okay? But we are going to talk about it. All right, you guys, that's all I have. And you go out and have a great week. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.